Alright, project for today. There's the wiring harness issue in this Buick. Now it says here in the GM recall bulletin that if it's made after September 4th, 2013, that it doesn't have this problem, and that the issue must be something else. Well, I think they're wrong, because in here, that corroded wire, that's not green wire, that is corrosion on the copper wire. It's supposed to connect to this green wire down in here, and it's not connecting. Now they tell you got to pull that thing out to pull the whole wiring harness out, and that's kind of a nuisance. I'm going to loosen that bolt and get the wiring harness out from behind that frame. Now by taking that bolt out, it allows me to get the wiring harness out here where I can see it. That there is supposed to connect to that little wire. They sure as heck don't waste any more copper than they have to on these anymore. I remember when it was like 18 gauge was real small to use on a wiring harness. Kind of crazy. No wonder I have issues. Slightest little bit of corrosion, that ain't making contact. I like my GMs, but this was the factory connection, the factory covering on that splice. Piece of black duct tape wrapped around that, and then wonder why the corrosion got in there. Pretty stupid. Alright, so I've meshed those wires together, and over here I've got a heat shrink piece of heat shrink with a solder built right into it in the center. I'm going to roll that back up on there and solder it. That side's all soldered, good connection, watertight, moisture tight. Well, the repair's all made. A little heavier wire there, but it was the smallest I had. 18 gauge wire in place of 22 gauge maybe. It's important to keep the wires back where they belong, so as you're going, I managed to save all the clips enough that they'll hold where they belong. Less one down in here. A zip tie with a head that's big enough that it won't go through the hole. Thread your zip tie in and back out, and then just finish your zip tie off out here, and that'll never go anywhere, and it's a lot easier to cut off than the factory ones. Of course, it's impossible to put together one-handed. There, wire secure, head's out there, won't get in the way behind the panel. Smallest zip tie possible, the head won't go through, works good. Oh, everything inside's all together. Do yourself a favor, do this on a nice warm day. Put your soundproofing panel up on the roof, and all the adhesive will stick again. And it's all back together, and everything functions. And whole thing took me just about an hour. Started just a little bit before 4. Had to run and get some tools, but now my car knows when the door is closed. I put it in gear, door's locked, door's unlocked. I can open the windows in the back, do everything from the front. Everything functions. So about an hour if you want to do it yourself.